Okay, so this is my process of processing wheel weights. So first, you want to make sure that you go through and you sort all your wheel weights. As you can see here, this is just a small portion for the next pan's worth. I have bucket loads, but I've sorted them out, and these are all good, clean wheel weights. Nothing else. You want to make sure you get any zinc out of there. If you're not sure about that, there's plenty of other videos, but the easiest way to tell is smack it against a piece of metal, or really the easier way than that is just take a pair of clippers. If you're unsure, even if it's harder lead, clippers will still cut through it like a soft smushiness if it's lead. If it's zinc or steel, you'll know, because it won't hardly even make a mark in it. As you can see now over here in the pan, I got my my lead in the pan there going. Got the flame on like a low medium. You don't want to do it too fast. You want to let it go pretty slow. And obviously this is being done outdoors, and I'm wearing a respirator, as you'll see here in a minute. But we're going to let it melt down, and then we're going to scoop out all the clips and throw them off to be in the trash. And then we're going to let this completely smoke off. So let all the fumes and the smoke completely dissipate off the pan. Once that's done, then you flux it, and then we're going to go ahead and pour it over here into the molds. So I'll zoom in and show you the pan here. As you can see it's slowly melting now. We'll come up and get a closer picture here of what's going on. There we go. I'll back out just a little bit here so you can see me. I'm gonna put my mask back on now. As you can see, we're almost there on the melt. You don't want to let them melt too long. You want to just get them to the temperature that they're melted and start pulling all that slag and clips off of the top. Once the slag and the clips are pulled off the top, we're going to let it smoke off, flux it with some candle wax or sawdust or whatever you want to use, any type of carbon-based substance to put in there. It brings all the impurities to the top, and then we're going to pour it into the molds. I have to grab my gloves really quick. I will be right back. I want to mention it's very, very important to wear a respirator doing this. These fumes are extremely toxic. It needs to be done outside where you got a decent little bit of a wind blowing. You do not want to breathe this stuff in. There's arsenic and other poisonous chemicals in there, and besides that, it smells terrible. Sometimes you can even smell it through the mask, and this is with a high quality respirator. So just take that precaution and be careful. And the number one rule is don't get anything wet near that pan, or you can get a vapor liquid explosion, and that lead will explode out of that pan. So don't get anything wet near it, or don't stick anything wet in it. Okay, so we're ready at the point now to go ahead and start removing the clips, and as you'll see, when I start scooping these clips out of there, you'll start to get a mirror surface on the top of that lead, and it'll start getting cleaned up. I also want to mention, it's important, the pan, you're going to need to find you a good pan. That's a copper coated stainless steel kitchen pan. I've found that to work pretty well. Cast iron is the best if you can find that. This is what I had available, and it seems to work pretty good because I bent a little pour spout into it. But you're going to need something that's going to be able to hold it, and you want to test it with a small amount first, because I've had it burn through other pans that appeared to be stainless steel and copper. So test the pan first with a small amount. Secondly, you're going to need 2 spoons that are going to be ruined forever. These will forever be your lead spoons. You're going to need a slotted one for removing clips, and then a closed one for scooping the sludge and slag off of the top of there. Now we're getting ready to flux it. As you can see, it's done smoking, and we're going to flux it and clean it up and then pour it into the molds. Now, when you go to throw this flux in there, whatever you use, I use candle wax. Be aware that it is going to, like, poof up in a flame. So, just be aware of that. Okay, so now we're going to pour into the molds. So let's back up here. And this is the method that I like to use. I like to use a pair of vice grips, clip it onto the pan for extra support, and pour quickly. And that's it. You're going to let those molds cool. I only have 2 of my molds, so you can use muffin tins or whatever. I'm actually about to go grab mine because I'm going to be doing a large quantity of these clips. And that's pretty much the process there. As you can see, those are nice and clean. We'll zoom in here so you can see. Those are good, high quality bars, nice and clean. Should come out between 12 and 15 BHN and can be water quenched to plus 20. I also wanted to finish by showing that I use 3 pots total. So I use the large pot outside, and that refines my bulk. This refines these down, gets the clips off to a clean bar. Once I have a clean bar, I will put it in my Lyman pot here, and I will refine it further and flux it out even further because it's a tighter area and much easier to get the slag off of the top there. And then I re-pour with the ladle into the bars again, and those and only those final 100% clean bars are what go into my bottom pour for actual casting. And as you can see, even with it being clean, you still get some dirt and mess in there. And I found that keeps my my pour spout really clean, and I typically don't have any problems. I'm able to get it to stop dripping pretty easily, and that's what works for me. You'll have to figure out your own method. Everybody's method's a little bit different, but that's pretty much all I got.